Please welcome to the stage Bloomberg's Brad Stone.
Hi, folks. Okay, no surprise, magazines love lists, but here at Bloomberg Businessweek, where I'm the editor, we don't think you need us to tell you who is the company of the year, the person of the year, the athlete of the year. You probably already know. So we've given ourselves something much more challenging and hopefully valuable, which is to pinpoint who's up and coming, who maybe have you heard about now, but you will almost certainly be hearing more about them soon. And that is our ones to watch list. And today I am thrilled to unveil our inaugural ones to watch in technology. Tushar Ahluwalia, the co-founder and CEO of Razor Group, which emerged as a major player in the industry of e-commerce aggregators. FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr is involved in a wide range of crucial tech policy. Dave Fontenot and Emily Liu co-founded HF Zero, or the Hacker Fellowship Zero, a startup residency. Demi Gua is making AI-generated video a reality at Pika. Luciana Lissandru is the head of Sequoia Capital's European practice, helping Munich seem as cool as San Francisco. Udit Madan is the head of Amazon's logistics operations. He is making sure our packages get delivered on time. Lee Chen Miller of Meta is making AR glasses the next cool accessory. And Evan Reiser, startup Abnormal Security, reads those suspicious emails in your work inbox closely enough to prevent you from falling for scams. And that is our ones to watch in tech. Congratulations, Tushar, Dave, Emily, Demi, Udit, and Evan, who are all here today. Please stand up and let's give them a round of applause. Awesome. And now I'm delighted to welcome to stage my colleague Rachel Metz and ones to watch Dave, Demi, and Evan.
Hello. Hey. Oh, here they go. Welcome, Dave, Demi, and Evan. You are all in one way or another in the business of applying machine learning to build new companies on the frontiers of AI. How significant a change is this moment in business? What can we compare it to?
It's huge. It's instead of needing to build a massive team now, there's so many things that you can do leveraging all of this new infrastructure to stay really, really small and build incredible products for millions of users. Now, like in the previous wave, we saw a company like Instagram that with tens of people built a product that got acquired for $1 billion and had a ton of users, was growing like crazy. We're going to see $10 billion plus, maybe even $100 billion plus company built by a really, really small team of really focused people leveraging these AI tools.
I mean, Demi, let me ask you about that, because all day we've been talking about the enormous expense that is going into training and operating these models. How many lanes are really open for startups? And in particular, with the AI-generated video, I mean, of course, we're waiting for OpenAI to release Sora. Like, how many lanes are really open and available?
Yeah, the way we think about it is AI is gonna completely change the way people make videos. It's gonna invent a completely new, brand new kind of creation tool, platform, and ecosystem. So we think it's less about like competing with existing players, but more about like inventing something new in a very big market, aka the video market.
I mean, let me just ask you maybe more directly, when OpenAI takes the guardrails off of Sora, what does that mean for Pika?
I think it's a very exciting moment to see, like, I think fundamentally we started the company because we're really passionate about content creation. We're really passionate about like using AI to change and improve the process of making video. and make video more content creation more accessible. So I think it's very exciting to see validation and other players who are together pushing the frontiers of AI native video making experience.
Evan, I want to talk to you for a second about, I didn't mean to make you sit up so straight. Tell us a bit about how you're applying machine learning to email security. Are you training your own models? Are you using other people's models? What is it that you guys are doing exactly?
Yeah, so we train all of our own models. And maybe we should go back to the other question. I do think AI, it's a tool, can be used for good or evil. The good guys are trying to use AI to stop attacks that have never been seen before. The bad guys are trying to create these attacks that have never been seen before. For us to go protect organizations from phishing, fraud, social engineering, we do train all of our models ourselves. We use a bunch of proprietary technology that's very good at understanding human behavior. We analyze content the same way humans would, and that's very effective for stopping the next generation of cyber attacks.
Why do you think there's a lane outside of companies like Microsoft or Gmail, Cisco, Proofpoint for a company like yours?
I think, Microsoft's got a lot of stuff they're working on.
This is true.
Not all is security, right? They're also launching kind of everything. I do think anytime you take a team that's really focused on something specialized and you build technology from scratch for a specialized purpose, those tools can be quite powerful. And in cybersecurity, if you look at companies like CrowdStrike, CrowdStrike also competes with Microsoft, yet it's, will soon be a $100 billion company. So I think there's lots of opportunities for people to take these technologies and apply them in a special purpose way, working really closely with customers to solve problems that used to seem unsolvable.
Evan, let me ask you a question that I think about every day when I open up my email inbox. Why, with all of the amazing technology available to Google or Microsoft or Yahoo, is the experience still so bad? And what is the AI the thing that's going to make it better?
He wants you to get rid of the spam in his inbox.
Love to talk to your technology team after this session. So I think the problem that cybersecurity has always had, it's very focused on stopping known bad things. You memorize all the bad files, the bad links, the bad URLs. And as you have attackers using more of these generative AI tools, there's more and more personalized stuff that's targeted at you individually. And so classic cybersecurity technology is focused on recognizing known bad. There's a bunch of stuff coming into your inbox or your LinkedIn account or any other way you kind of consume information from the outside internet. And these kind of very generic machine learning technologies don't know much about you or what's normal for you. That's for both cybersecurity purposes, but also for just productivity purposes. There's some messages that you might get that are super important to you that I don't really want to see. I do think as AI gets better at understanding human behavior, it can both defend against these never seen before attacks, but also help increase the productivity and by figuring out the most important and priority things for you, and that's what we're trying to go do.
Dave, you and Emily at HF0 and Gary, who was just on stage, you guys are on the ground floor of like the entrepreneurial energy in San Francisco. And I'm just curious,
incredible. Yeah, it's like so good right now.
Right. How thoroughly has it been taken over, infected by this AI enthusiasm? Is it 100%? Like, is that all you're seeing now?
So the way that we view AI is that AI is a tool, not an industry. And it's a tool that's really generally useful. So it's going to be leveraged in just about every industry. And the thing, I mentioned this to you at dinner last night, but the thing that really got me questioning how we view AI and the role it's going to play is actually one of our top crypto companies that we backed started using OpenAI in more different ways than all of the AI companies that we had backed. And that was really interesting. And so what I started to realize is that there's almost this new way of building a company, of building any company, any company that can leverage software, leveraging these AI tools. And that's the thing that I'm most interested in, more than like people building like an AI startup. It's like this new way of building a startup or building a company where you're thinking about the ways that you can leverage AI in every step of the company building, from your marketing, where you're getting those emails that are making it in there, all the way to your product and the experience that your users are having, all the way to your customer support and the stuff that folks like Intercom and like ClerkChat are doing. And so that's what I would say is like, most of these startups aren't AI startups. Who is their customer? That's what type of startup they are. And in 18 months, I think a lot of the stuff that we're calling AI right now, we're going to say like, oh, they're just using an LLM. That's not AI. And so there's this, it's this next abstraction layer of software that we're able to build on top of that just happens to be really generally useful. It's so useful. And so we're finding almost, I don't want to say like a new breed of founders. It's the same mindset, this hacker mindset that a lot of the top founders in the previous wave had. But now there's this like new tool that they're just like, oh, well, we can use this here and here and there. Like Crossman, I think, uses AI like 14 different places in their business. So, yeah.
Demi, you built your company in part because you were frustrated. You couldn't make live action film look animated, and you said, hey, I can build something to fix this. I mean, you turned that into Pika. One of the things that I've been wondering about as I'm playing with Pika and using it myself is, what do you do with it? What are you using it for?
Yeah, I think it's a really good question. I think I use it for a lot of like creative stuff. So for example, the very beginning when we started the company, a lot of our marketing videos, I actually used to make our marketing videos for fun using our product. I also, I started Pika, like you mentioned, because I was really passionate about making side film projects. So you try to use our product to make like side project, which could be like fun film projects. Yeah.
What are some interesting things that you're seeing people do with the tool that you guys are offering?
We definitely see users are like more creative than I can imagine. So there are like use cases that are more like professional, for example, like making prototype, or for films, or like in general, like making making a short film to maybe like reproducing a commercial, for example. So our creative director, he used to run a commercial agency, and he was able to use our product to reproduce a commercial he made with like 30 plus teams, 3 months in like a very large budget, and use our product to remake the commercial in a day.
Oh, cool.
And Demi, can I ask you, how did you train your model, and how have you, as a smaller company, navigated the rights issues that do seem to accompany this and may have slowed down the emergence of Sora at OpenAI?
So I think the way we think about it is, I think just like general company building, like how startup wins big company. Of course, like experience really matters. So we have a very strong like tech team. So you have a lot of experience in building model, which help you to train your model in a more efficient and cost-effective way. And we also we're very intentional on efficiency algorithm, so developing algorithm that can not only train your model in a more efficient in terms of cost and time way, but also serving your model in a more like cost-effective way. And in general, like as a very small company, we really value like hiring people who are very efficient and adaptive. And that make our team able to move very fast.
Do you see a day where you'll have to go down to Hollywood and have the kinds of meetings that probably the big tech companies are having with rights holders?
That's a really cool question. So we also already are talking to a lot of Hollywood studios as one of the top AI video startups among the startups. I think. It's a really open question right now in terms of how people will deal with it. And fundamentally, I think, hopefully, like the way we think about it is we're not trying to replace artists. We're trying to serving for artists. That's why I started the Pika, because we want to create a tool so that the artists can be focused on the creative part and realizing their creative idea in a more efficient way.
Evan, let's talk about generative AI. People like Demi are focused on what people can do with it that could be cool and fun, but you're also focused on how it could be used maliciously. So what is it that your company is doing to prevent against the malicious uses and the spread of malicious uses of generative AI?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's a little terrifying, so sorry if this is a somber response.
It's okay. I mean, some of these things are really potentially negative, or actually negative at the time.
So I think, like, first of all, you just look at the acceleration rate of AI capabilities. It's mind-blowing. It's very hard to even see what's going on. I always think about these image generation models. If you went back 2 years ago, you had to draw a picture of a person, Bloomberg reporter, someone had like 7 eyes and 4 ears, and it would look very silly, right? today, right, it's almost indistinguishable, right, from a Photoshop expert, right? Probably a year from now, or maybe sooner with some of the work you're doing, right, you can have a real-time video, right? So that's kind of the escalation of some of these generative AI technologies. Unfortunately, while there's lots of very good good outcomes that these things will create, criminals will use these technologies for bad things, right? And we see that through text, right, or email messages today. It's happening more for other forms of digital communications. It's not hard to imagine a couple of years from now you're seeing deep fake Zoom calls, video chats, et cetera, et cetera. And I think what's scary, today, if not a year in the future, you're going to have every petty criminal on the internet using ChatGPT 7 to create social engineering emails that are more sophisticated than anything we see today. And so those are the types of issues that we have to solve as a civilization, and that requires using these AI technologies to go combat those attacks. So I do think, although just to end on an optimistic note, I do think the good guy AI is going to beat the bad AI.
Well, let me end with a lightning round, starting with you, Evan, ending with you, Rachel. You have to answer two, surprise.
Oh, no.
0 being pessimistic, 10 being optimistic. Where's your meter right now on the long-term impact of AI on our society?
I'm very negative over the next 2 years and very bullish in a long time. So sorry, I forgot the scale.
Yeah, 0
negative,
bad, 10 good.
Okay, I would say it's probably like 2 from at least cybercrime perspective in the next 2 or 3 years. And I would say it's probably 8 or 9, in the long run. I'm quite bullish long run.
Demi.
I'm very bullish on AI. But I also really agree with Dave, which is AI is a tool. So it really depends. AI is neutral. So it really depends on how we as humans use AI and how do we govern AI in a right way. Yeah.
Dave.
I'm a 10. The thing that makes me hopeful is this conversation is happening among the community that's building this stuff. Like at HF0, people are talking about the impact more than I've ever seen in any previous startup wave. And that makes me really optimistic.
AI reporter Rachel Metz.
Oh my gosh, this is a really hard question to answer. You're gonna hate this answer, but I'd go in the middle. Honestly, I don't want to say 5 because that doesn't sound super happy, but I think there are gonna be some really good positives over the long term, and I really think there are also gonna be some really big negatives. And we have to, our work is to report on it, and your work is to help balance that out.
Where are you at?
You know what?
Yeah,
we're
where are
out
you?
of time. Unfortunately. Evan, Demi, Dave, thank you guys.
so much.
That's awesome.
Thank you.